Welcome to The Consumers. My name is Greg Warren. I am joined today by our first guest. This is historic. Dustin Nickerson. He is the host of the Don't Make Me Come Back There podcast. He's an outstanding stand-up comedian. He's my buddy. Stayed at my place last night. First guest that I had in the condo since it's been revamped. What do you think?
This is the revamp?
You should have seen it before.
You should have seen it before.
The other voice you
Was
hear,
it unimpressive?
No, it was the smell. I didn't. There was
he's such a liar. It smells great.
it had a hint of sour.
No
kidding.
If
Yeah.
you're kidding, it's a good joke. If you're not kidding, it might have been,
He's not.
and I'll get to it.
It had a hint of sour only in the rooms.
I had to. I'll get to it, but I got a new wok, and you gotta.
He's blaming.
You have to
he's
season
blaming
the wok, and when you season the wok, you like burn the oil. Let's introduce my co-host Tim Convey. Tim, how you doing?
I'm great.
Good to see you.
Real excited to have Dustin here. This is exciting.
Me too. Let's also introduce my other co-host, Sean O'Brien. Sean, how are you? Oh, wait a minute. Sean's not here. Sean's late, guys. Sean is late.
There's some miscommunication. Some wires got crossed, as they say.
Yeah, I think it's probably our fault in that Randy's here,
Yeah.
Tim's here, I'm here, Dustin's
I'm
here.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I blame myself. Blame me. I'm the guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is a little earlier than you normally do.
Let's get back to that. Sean will
walk.
be here. Allegedly, he'll be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get an explanation.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's get back to your
Your
sour.
house is great. I like your place a lot. Thank you for your hospitality.
get back to that sour smell. I'm a little nervous about this. This is so much money. And Tim's mom is my designer.
Yeah.
She's not going to be happy if you don't like it.
No, it's great. 100% joke.
She doesn't
Loved it.
work in
Yeah.
odors at all. It's just
No,
the
she doesn't.
aesthetics.
She has nothing to do
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a fragrance. So I got a new wok. It's been a crazy thing.
Mhm.
I got a wok. Now, when I buy cooking things now, I'm like, okay, I used to just get the nonstick,
Mhm.
but there's some literature out there that says that's not good for you. Like, because there's
Yeah.
chemicals that
Yeah.
make nonstick and it's,
Okay.
carcinogens, that kind of thing. So I asked the person at the store. I go,
What store is this?
what are the kitchen stores? It's a famous
Crate
one.
and Barrel.
I think it was Crate and Barrel.
Ooh.
So I go to
high-end.
Crate and Barrel and should I get this wok? She said, get this. You can put it as high as you want.
Get the sour one.
Get-
Yeah.
No, listen, man. And you have to see. It says pre-seasoned wok. Then I look on the thing. It says you have to season it. You guys know what seasoning pans is?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's like
You build up like an oil
Yeah.
sort of coating on it, and you on a steel pan. The ones because the nonstick already has a coating, but it's chemicals. But you can build up your own nonstick like the chefs do, and you do it by basically heating oil up and
Yeah.
spreading it around, and then wiping it off, letting it cool. You got to do it like 4 or 5 times. Well, I do this with this wok that I got from Crate and Barrel, and it's just not working. And it's black on the inside, and
Yeah.
I'm wiping off black stuff every time. And she said you could put it as high as you want. I put it on high. And then I'm wiping off black stuff, and I look on the package. It says never put on high, and I'm like, I don't think I got the right wok. So I got so mad. I had onions in the wok. I walked outside my house to the dumpster with the onions in the wok. It was piping hot, and I threw it in the dumpster.
The walk?
Yeah, I threw the wok in the dumpster.
You seriously did?
Brand new wok. I couldn't take it. I think I thought I might have ruined it. I
You're
tried
a-
it several times. So then I went to the.
I know. He's a crazy person.
Yeah.
I lo-
Also, in this economy, when people are really hurting,
Yeah.
to just so blatantly talk about how you're throwing Crate and Barrel products in the trash.
It was a damaged Crate and Barrel. It was useless to
No.
anybody.
I didn't know you. I
The
didn't know.
poor people would
It
get
didn't
cancer.
feel. I didn't know this was a One Percenters podcast going in. I didn't know. I didn't know we were dealing with that kind of
it's
money.
about to get more 1%er.
Yeah.
So then I went to Cornucopia, which is an overpriced but
You
nice.
did not.
I went to Cornucopia, which is right by where I live. It's just a kitchen store. I buy a lot of stuff there.
I would call it a boutique.
Is it?
Kitchen
Yeah.
Oh,
store.
boutique.
So I get in
Yeah.
there and I go, hey man, I need a wok, and I got to hand it to the guy. He goes, walk
this
with
way?
me. He did.
Oh, yeah. It was right there. Yeah.
And I said, good job.
Yeah,
I complimented
yeah.
him. He's not a comedian, and it was a nice joke.
And did you say, because a lot of guys talk the talk, but
You.
That's pretty
Did you
good.
give him that?
Yeah.
I didn't. That's good.
Yeah.
I wish-
I would have
strong.
gone with Walk This Way. That would have been my.
I think he said that.
Yeah,
he,
yeah, yeah.
he said.
And he did the riff. Where'd you cue that up from? Wow.
What?
Is
What?
Joe Perry here?
Well, yeah, Steven Tyler just walked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Good.
amazing. God, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
So
was it a walk to remember?
It was a Mandy Moore,
Yeah.
and I don't know
Oh.
who the male lead was in that.
Well, that's actually a
Shane
cover of
something?
a Switchfoot
Shane?
song, FYI. But yeah. Oh, the song you're talking about the
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
But that's of course, yeah.
It's a heartbreightbreaking movie.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah, several
That's
times.
Yeah.
I saw it. Anyways, I go, hey man, I've had some walk problems, and I go, hey. and then he goes like, man, I think anybody that buys a walk that's coated is out of their mind. You know, he goes,
Really?
you gotta get a carbon steel walk, which is what I thought I got.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, was it silver on the inside? And I goes, no, black. He's like, that's garbage. So this lady at Crate and Barrel, she lied.
Wow.
So
really?
he and then I'm asking him, how do you season the walk? Okay. And he basically said,
The first thing is you do 4 balls. And then nothing, 4 balls, walk, nothing. It was too abstract. I'm
Oh.
sorry. It was too
I
it
was
was-
looking
baseball
for
joke.
season.
I
yeah,
like it.
yeah,
I like it.
It was
Not
it
bad.
was listen, I should have stopped after Walk to Remember.
no, the 4 ball. It's not.
I was looking for season. It was
well, the
strong.
thing
It
is
was
we're
all
not
right.
in
Yeah.
we're not in baseball season, so it's
Right, that's the other
Yeah.
issue.
Right.
Anyways,
Sorry.
Sean
I'll come back in spring.
Dustin Sean would have loved it. And he's
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
So that's kind of on
What
him.
could have been?
Honestly.
yeah, he's not coming.
So he says-
There's some. I don't know if we should get into it with him here, but I mean, he said he thought it was at noon,
Yeah.
and we recorded 11. Tim's saying there may be a chance that he just woke up.
I don't know. I'm not.
Now you're
I don't
you're
know
not
what you're
going
talking-
up to it here.
I think Randy might have said that. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was me.
that there was
I'm
no
not sure.
miscommunication.
All right, back to the walk. So the guy
Back
How
says
to
did
the
the
walk.
season walk? Yeah.
Yeah.
My joke was so bad. You started bad mouthing your co-host.
Guys, we're not going to do any more. We're not going to do any more podcasts. This is the end of the consumers. It was a great ran, and then he
Yeah.
did that stupid walk to remember joke.
Listen, two out of 3. No, Walk to Remember hit. And Walk
Yeah.
This Way
Yeah.
worked. It was the 4 balls. It was
four
the
balls.
third one.
Yeah, if you're keeping score on,
At home.
on walk jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're feeling it.
Yeah, it's a BB based on balls.
Somebody needs to get a Muppet character in there saying,
Waka
Waka
waka.
"There you
Waka.
go,
Yeah, there it
good
is.
job, guys.
Yeah.
Good job."
I wasn't happy, but I did it.
Okay. Yeah, you could have shown a little more enthusiasm.
I mean, he did the
man.
same thing. You just happened to be looking at me. He goes, Waka Waka.
Really? Hey, what's up, Sean?
Hey, how's it going?
How
I'm
you
Dustin.
doing? Good to see
I'm
you.
here,
don't panic.
Oh, this is great.
Sean's here.
Just in time.
So what happened, man?
Hold on, man. Let me situate. I almost got into 3 car wrecks. Boy,
This is pretty good time.
risked my life. I'm out of breath from driving.
Wow.
You know, that's how intense I was on that trip. So
I just clipped that. Just clip that
Yeah.
and end the
I just got to get it together. I'm going to need 35 minutes.
Got a Flintstones car.
Give me about 40 minutes.
So what?
do you
Do
need a
know the
minute?
time? Tim thinks you might have been sleeping and
I
you're
swear.
lying.
No, Heather's my witness. I was going to be here. I thought it was a noon show. I would have been here at 11:35.
The lights on your, the flashlights on your.
Take care of that.
Randy, get Heather on the phone, please.
Good to see you, Dustin.
Yeah, you as well.
Too.
Yeah. It's
So
good.
there you go. I had noon, and now I got to take it. I got to take the abuse. It's my fault. And,
Oh, there's no abuse. man.
We're just glad everything's all right.
No,
yeah, I think the show was rolling. I
This
mean, I
is-
walked in. I mean, just burst of laughs.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You can imagine how.
There was about 4 or 5 walk jokes.
Yeah.
What, like WOK?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well,
Or
it's
See,
one of those.
Sean, that's where the comedy was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. But old WALK guy here comes in and
We were all doing that. I
lot
just
of
had the
fun.
last one that went to. It was a swing and a miss.
That was great.
All right,
Good.
I struck out. I tried to walk, but I struck out. I doubled down. It missed again.
How you
It missed again.
I'm
How you gonna swing and miss when you're walking?
delighted. Oh, well.
I
Anyways,
would've walked, but
Sean, I got
swung
2
anyways.
walks, and I got 1 walk, and I was trying to season it and get it ready, and it just didn't work out. And I had the onions in the walk, and I lost my temper, and I just walked outside my house across the parking lot, threw it in the dumpster, hot with onions in it. And then I went to.
So a fire hazard.
That's where I was going.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you've already had issues with your condo, man. The last thing we need is you burning it down now.
Yeah.
It
You put your neighbors'
was in the
lives in
dumpster.
risk. Yeah.
All right. I'm just saying, I'd probably maybe let it cool off. Just
It was a
Agreed.
bad
Just to
thing,
say-
man.
yeah,
I could have created a real dumpster fire.
Oh.
I actually thought of that one and chose not to.
Oh, did you?
I just want to let you know that I took the high road there. I was like, you know what? I already made my terrible dad
This
joke.
we
Also, I
haven't
want to let
made.
you know they're being much nicer to you in person than they were when you were on your
oh
way.
yeah, man. I've 15 years, man. The guy's
Yeah,
a
no,
monster.
they were.
It's like-
I was like, there's real tension,
Oh,
and
sure.
I'm not excited for you to get here because I'm happy that you're here. But
No, thank you, man.
it did not seem. There was.
Yeah,
There's real tension.
unfounded.
It was
And guess
real.
what? That makes for a nice product.
Yeah, for a guest, it's lovely.
Yeah.
You
Oh
love-
yeah, he's
Well, get
in a
on
great
board.
spot.
Love when you visit
Because
your
let me
friend's
tell you
house and
something.
then
Eddie
parents are
Van Halen
fighting.
and David
That's a
Lee
good-
Roth didn't like each other, and it was magic.
Yeah. Look how many great records we got from them over the years. If only they would have gotten along, and we would have gotten even more great records. It's a stupid analogy.
That is a dumb analogy.
Is Van Halen bad?
No, the
No,
point is
he's
they would
saying
have
they
been
had so
even
many good
better
albums.
Yeah.
if they would have stayed together for a long time.
They didn't
Right.
do much.
But what I'm saying is that what makes this podcast great is there's a little bit of tension.
And then it'll end prematurely.
Yes, we've
Yeah,
already
oh, yeah.
acknowledged.
Yeah.
We've already acknowledged
okay.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Well,
this
you guys
thing goes
come
5
out of the
more
gate
episodes.
with your numbers wrong. You guys were,
Yes.
Yeah.
We did one of our trademarks. Yeah, because people aren't gonna. How many episodes do they do? They'll look back like how many records the Beatles make, Van Halen, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll be so confused trying to count ours.
I don't know. Yeah, we think they did 300 episodes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, the episode blunder. Yeah, that's a real problem.
Sean, we're just glad you're. You can imagine how concerned we were.
No,
that
I
you
know,
were
I'm
late.
safe.
It was like something must be wrong.
And I'm always the first one here. Randy can agree with that. You know, he's shaking his head yes back there. So, but
Anyways,
I just want to know, how bad did you hit me while I was driving here? Pretty hard.
not that bad.
Okay.
You
Tim?
can listen to it. I mean, I asked him, do you think that he overslept and is lying, or do you think that he really had it down as noon?
I thought he was rude on the phone to you.
Yeah, man.
I found that an impolite way to talk to another adult human being.
I thought he
I
was
appreciate
rude on
When
that,
the
he
man.
was
phone to
like,
you.
yeah, what did he say? It was like, well, no, get here. No, it was 11. Like, you knew you were running late. You were already on the way. And they told you to, like, drive faster.
Yeah, he told me to drive faster.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
He
yeah.
drives
That's
slow.
just
It's kind of an inside joke because
He
he
drives
drives so
slow.
slow.
I don't care for this podcast, so I
Yeah.
don't care about your jokes. But I don't. But I just thought that was an impolite way to talk to another human being.
I
And I had
appreciate
not seen
Dustin.
that side from you.
Oh man.
Oh, it's ugly,
you should
man.
if you and
If Sean brings it out,
if you don't want to peel back the curtain, leave now because
Yeah.
you're gonna see a lot of that side.
Yeah, I know. You mocked me. Just even you.
Yeah.
it sounded just like him.
Yeah,
didn't
you
it?
went real childish, real quick.
I thought it sounded just
yeah,
like
yeah,
him.
yeah.
No.
it's
I was
great.
doing an impression.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. No one could tell who was talking.
Just let me tell you,
Yeah.
Sean,
there we go.
it sounds like I was harsh, but you haven't had to be on the road with him and literally like, hey, we're going to meet down at 9 and I'm down there at 9. He's not there. I call, not there.
Mhm.
Have to literally, it's under my name, the room. So I have to be like, what room is he in?
So there's
I have to go
history
there
here.
and bang. There's
Yeah,
a lot
there's
of
a
history.
little
Okay,
history
yeah.
of
Oh,
being late.
Dustin.
So yeah.
Have you guys
I'll
ever-
never not think that he overslept because it's
Okay.
happened.
Have you guys ever talked about it in like a healthy adult way?
Not
Or
really.
just-
It's more just him says, don't do it again.
Right.
A lot of or else.
Yeah. Which I'll tell you is
if you,
very.
I'll bring Willow down on the road. Another
Yeah.
great comic. You know,
Yeah,
he threatens
he's
with
opening
other
for me this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
He told me about.
See,
it.
you
He
could have had
told it-
that gig.
He told me, actually, he said that about you because I was like, well, the first show's at 6, and Greg's like, he won't be up
No
by
chance.
then.
Not
There's
a
no way
chance.
he could make it to Springfield by 6. So he gave me Will.
I mean, I think I could now. I think I'm better. I had it down at noon, guys. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Glad you're here.
I'm here. I'm safe.
But
it was a rough ride.
I one time was on Seth Meyers, the late night show, doing stand up.
All right.
And Sean came in
All
because
right.
he's my buddy.
Jeez, I didn't
He was
know.
with me. And
Big
he stayed at my
flexes
place.
with Greg Warren.
Yeah.
Threw
Stayed
a
at my
walk
place.
away.
This is big.
Seth Meyers stayed at your place?
No, Sean did.
Okay.
And when you
Too
go
sour.
to record Seth Meyers, you have to. The car comes to pick you up about 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And we almost didn't make it because Sean was sleeping.
Okay.
That's true.
All right, that one
In
put-
fairness, he
that-
had a studio, and I was like sleeping on his scale because there's nowhere
Yeah.
to go. It wasn't like it was the most ideal setup. So, sleeping outside that night would have probably lent myself a better night's sleep than sleeping in the studio. But the bottom line is we did make it. And we had a great night that night, and it was a great show.
But we almost didn't.
We almost did it, but we did.
He was asleep.
Yeah.
At 4:30.
And the internet was broken. I fixed it. So that's what's important.
Yeah. All right.
I'm an undecided voter right now.
Oh, really?
Between the two, because it's there's valid points on
If
both
you're
sides
undecided, I don't want you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll take you either way.
Yeah. All right.
I'm very happy that you're here.
You know what the
Well,
key
this
is
is how
here?
the Democrats lost. So
Vote Convy.
vote Convy.
Yep.
There you go.
Party.
Third
Stay
party.
out of this. Yeah, don't
Third
get involved.
party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's the safe vote. It's vanilla. He stands for nothing.
Water's fine. Yep. I'll be whoever you want me to be.
Man, I'd rather be late than be saying I stand for nothing, Tim.
Rude.
No comment.
The moral of the story is I got a second wok, and I had to season it, and it does give off an odor when you're burning oil like 4 or 5 times, and maybe that's what you were getting.
No, your house did not actually smell sour, but the fact that you are worried about it does make me happy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man. I'm proud of that house.
Yeah. Listen.
You're the first guest.
Listen, if you if you have a cat, it's gonna smell like cat. But other than that, the house smelled fine. You know when you walk in a house, you're like, this is a cat house.
Here's
you can
the- yeah.
smell the litter
Yeah.
or whatever, and that's the only thing I noticed in your house. So it's great.
I don't have a cat.
It's all right.
This is terrible. I got to talk to your mom. We got to.
She's not responsible for that.
I know, but now that was my big mistake.
Did it look nice?
It looked.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, now you're talking.
All right.
Now you're bashing on Kate
Come
Convy.
on,
You
no,
don't
no.
want that. You
No.
do not want that.
You
No,
didn't
it
like
actually did. The house is great, and I'm very grateful for the hospitality.
Okay.
He was talking about there's the greatest wrestling coach and one of the greatest, probably the most famous wrestling figure in the world is a guy named Dan Gable. Sean met him. Actually.
I met Gable.
I don't think that's true anyway. By the way, because it's got to be Kurt Angle.
No, it's not.
Famous.
He's famous within the wrestling world.
Go walk around the streets.
He
Yeah,
is.
okay,
Yeah.
City in
yeah.
the
That
world.
is accurate.
Yeah.
Fine.
But the most revered guy is he was the longtime coach of Iowa. He only lost once in college. His name is Dan Gable. He's a legendary coach. I got to meet him. Sean got to meet him. And he was just making fun of one of Dan's quotes
No.
just at coffee. We went to Caldi's and had coffee, and he's like making fun of that quote. And I was
have
like,
a
oh,
bit
really?
about it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I have a poster framed
Of that quote.
of that quote with him, picture of him in that quote. And he's got it. Hey, Greg, thanks for everything you've done in wrestling.
And you were making fun of it before you saw
I
it.
hadn't
in
seen
before
it,
he
yeah.
saw it. Yeah.
What's the
The
quote?
quote is,
Once you've wrestled, everything else in life is easy.
which is the dumbest statement in the history
I don't
of
like it.
statements. Yeah, it's so stupid.
I don't like it at
Yeah.
all.
I get
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
sentiment
but
behind
again,
it. But
you haven't wrestled.
I wrestled.
I wrestled too.
You wrestled?
Yeah, 7th and 8th grade.
Okay.
We've talked about this.
I don't remember this.
Oh man, really?
I don't remember this.
I was telling you about my single leg takedowns and my duck walk.
Yeah.
Duck
It's not
walk.
even the hardest sport.
Keep
Yeah, we love all
keep
this.
talking.
No, I mean,
the more of
keep
this, the better
talking.
the show.
Well, listen, I respect wrestlers, but it's not. If it were the hardest sport, the best athletes in the world would do it.
This is stupid.
That's a great point.
No,
Mhm.
You're not making a lot of money in the collegiate wrestling game.
yeah. If it was the hardest sport, if it's the most difficult to execute sport, the best athletes in the world would do it.
This
And
is
wrestlers are not
inane.
the best. No.
I mean, argue with that. It's a
Yeah.
pretty good point.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a good point.
It's a great
It's a
point.
very
No,
difficult
no,
sport.
like it's like an academic class. Like the hardest classes, the smartest students, only they can do it.
Right.
The best athletes in the world choose not to do wrestling. They go do other harder sports because they can.
I don't think that has anything to do with how hard it is. I do agree that sometimes there's some great athletes that wrestle, but it's
Of
a
course.
size thing. You know, like sometimes like you can't play in the NBA for the most part unless you're 6'5" or something.
Yeah, but you can be any size in baseball.
Yes, you can.
And I would say
And you're saying
baseball's harder than wrestling.
baseball is, I think, in some ways way more difficult than wrestling. In some
Yeah.
ways, it's not near as difficult as wrestling. I mean, just
I
the
think
cardio.
The
cardio.
workouts are harder.
Yes,
but
yeah.
that's not what we're discussing. Wrestling practice is harder than baseball
Yes,
practice.
yes.
Okay.
But to hit a baseball is impossible.
A million
So
times.
It's
hard.
impossible.
Yes.
It's impossible.
So
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
But also,
Yeah, you see like an 89 mile-per-hour sinker.
Yeah. Or you
Or
get
go grab that guy's leg.
Yeah.
And lock on.
No. Sometimes you grab two of the legs.
Yeah, that's true.
What's that
Oh,
called?
you're so dumb. I want to see you. I want to bring in a real wrestler and have
Yeah.
Actually, I'll just do it with you.
We
Just
got a
grab
single
my
leg
and see what
and then
happens.
a double
No,
leg.
I get it, but I probably have a better shot at that than hitting a major league fastball.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's just his point.
I think
You
that-
probably have a better, but you have as much of a chance at taking down an Olympic level athlete. You can touch his
Agree.
leg.
100%.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think I put wrestling in the category of distance running and like rowing, where like these are the highest disciplined athletes in the world. Like what
Right.
they do, the hours that they put in, the diet, particularly the weight stuff, like that. They're a total different freakish existence.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
little. I mean, and I think that distance running is brutal. I
Yeah.
did it. It's brutal. And Dustin's son is actually a really good distance runner.
Yeah, my
Oh, is
wife
that
ran
right?
in college, and my son's really fast too.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, he's like
He's just all league in San Diego. Like he's gonna, if he wants to, he'll run in college. We'll
He
see.
has a
great.
chance this weekend to make it to the state.
Yeah, which in California is like no joke. California State is very,
Right.
very, especially he's D1. Like
What kind of time does he have
very
to run in
large.
a 5K to make it? Or
the
5,000
5Ks
meters?
really vary because
Courses.
because the courses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the sub 16 guys are and then when the miles are the times that like people. Like if he's pretty regularly clocking like a 4:20 mile going into his senior year,
Wow.
so that'll need to go to like a UCLA or like an Oregon or a Berkeley or like one of like that would have to be even lower. But yeah,
Man.
they're like fastest, but they're like
But he could go Division 1 at
Mhm.
420, right?
a lot of D1 schools out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
so yeah, but that's what I mean, that there's like a mindset. The wrestler, I was in wrestling, I wrestled for like 5 years.
Mhm.
And I admit there's like, it's a crazy subculture and just absolute animals over there who are like, I don't need my ears to look normal.
He loves it.
Oh,
He
man.
loves
Come on, man.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Cover that
Can
up.
you blur that out?
He loves it.
Yeah.
We were on a trip.
is that a seasoned walk? Is that?
Yeah. He bought the wrong kind again.
It was like the first walk.
Yeah.
It's bumpy.
Yep. My favorite story about Greg's ear is we were on a we were all on a trip together at Cahokia Mountains, which is this tourist place, and it's this you climb up this big hill, and there was this kid there who was running, who was clearly training, and Greg's like, I bet he's a wrestler.
Yeah.
So he stops the guy and he goes, hey man, what sport do you play? And the guy goes, I'm a wrestler. And Greg kind of smirks, and then he leans over and he points to his ear
Yeah.
to show the guy that he wrestled too. And the guy didn't catch it. And the guy goes, I said I was a wrestler.
Amazing.
I don't remember
Greg's
that.
like, I'm in the club. Look at me. And the
Yeah,
guy goes,
look at me.
a wrestler.
Tim, what else do you remember about that trip to Cahokia Mounds? There was an archaeologist there. It's a excavation place.
Yeah.
There's an archaeologist there, and me and Tim are there, and she's
Wanted
just
to
out
set-
there doing a dig, and it's the most attractive woman any of us had ever seen.
It was like somebody was playing a trick on
A trick
her.
on.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
like she's like
Yeah.
a supermodel
Yeah.
in like supermodel clothes doing an archaeology dig.
Like, hey, Tim, come bury me over here.
I mean, both of us. I'm like,
let me just expose my cauliflower ear, and she'd be like, "What's that?"
because there's somebody that's like giving us a big talk about the thing, not her, and she's off in the distance, like conducting this dig, and I go, "Are you seeing what I'm seeing?" He's like, "This is unbelievable."
It was like I was looking for cameras. I was like, this is because she was wearing a archaeologist outfit or whatever, but
Yeah.
it was like cut perfectly, like it was a Kardashian theme party or something like that.
It was unbelievable.
Weird.
I don't know where we are, but that's okay.
Wrestling isn't that difficult.
Correct.
I do want to make the point. Distance running is extremely hard. I did it. I wasn't terribly good at it, but you're running. It's you against yourself. There's nobody trying to knock you off the path. Like that is the other difficult thing about wrestling. There's another guy that's like everything that you think, oh, this will work. you shoot the single. Like, there's a guy that's going to be like, no, you can't.
Well, yeah, no, I get that. But that makes the argument that wrestling isn't even the hardest of the combat type sports. Like boxing is
I don't
much,
think.
and
Ask around.
MMA.
I don't think the guys that are as far as like preparing for MMA right now, collegiate wrestling is the best way to do it, just for the toughness.
Again,
just for the
so
toughness.
where you're saying wrestling practice is harder than everything else.
I don't know. The grind of a wrestling season is pretty difficult. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. It's
But he's saying that the competition itself is not as hard as other
he
things.
thinks it's easy. Yeah,
I didn't say
I
that.
didn't say
I
that.
didn't say that. Don't get defensive.
He's just saying Gable's quote isn't necessarily.
I also think that,
Gable, I think later in life said something to the fact,
Yeah.
like, I didn't quite mean it like
Yeah,
that. I
like
think
he hadn't
like,
had kids yet. At
he
Yeah,
was
this
also
point.
like, this prepares you for a lot in life.
yeah.
Like,
Sure.
It's a very insulting quote.
Listen,
Like,
I know this
you
is
ever had
hard,
someone
but,
struggling with addiction, hit rock bottom, be like, "Phew, let me tell you about a wrestling season." Huh?
It's not the matches so much as it is the practice.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
Yeah.
that's tough. That is tough.
He's just so quiet.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot that I'm thinking right now, and I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever lost a home?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but grappling. Grappling, that's tough.
It is.
It is
It
tough.
is
It
because
is,
all
yeah.
that stuff is it's emotionally hard. But then like
yeah, you're like, well, I had to.
it's any of you guys go like do as many push-ups as you can right now, and then you'll be like most adults don't push themselves to
Right.
failure, and you realize this is brutally hard. You know. But yeah,
they prepare like psychos. Is true. I mean,
no,
I
not
mean
just
that in a good
wrestling,
way.
but I'm just saying that it's just a bigger thing. Like we all are like sports fans. We're all like, I could do that, and then most of us like just I could in a minute and a half I could have you be like I can't, you know, like, and not just from wrestling. I'm just saying for any physical thing. Like
Yeah.
go sprint.
Yeah, listen, if my wife ever uproots and leaves me, takes the children, I'll be thankful I had that wrestling background. You know, I'll be thankful that my whole life is falling apart, but thank God.
You went through something.
Thank
harder.
God I had a couple hard winters.
You fall back.
I just
on
want to
that.
say I love Dan Gable.
Yeah.
I met him. He's an awesome guy, and he's motivated a ton of people in the world. And you know, some smart mouth stand-up comics
Made some good points.
Not going to ruin it for me.
Made him rethink some things.
Not going to ruin
it's
it for
not-
me.
We're all Gable fans here. It's not an attack on him. You know what I love?
More of a Kurt Angle fan myself, but
There you go. Pringles.
Chips.
That is Pringles is today's brand. We're pretty excited about that. Full disclosure, I sold Pringles for 10 years. I had a lot of projects involving Pringles. I sold them as one of my products, and then when I went to work in the GO, the general office, like the corporate job, on a lot of projects, a lot of my projects involved Pringles. So I was very close to that brand, actually. I'm excited about it, but let's get to the history.
But Nateland lawyers asked us to disclose that you were in fact a part of Team Pringles for a while before we got.
Yeah, because if I'm saying some things, my view is going to be somewhat slanted, right?
have you signed a Pringles NDA?
Long time ago.
Yeah.
You rather actually did, huh?
I think when I left
Wow.
the company, I did.
Wow.
When I left the company, I'm sure I had to sign something that said, "Hey, I'm not going to disclose certain things." And in this podcast, I'm disclosing them.
Wow, I love it, man.
I bought him out.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It's always,
Yeah.
it's always a number.
Like Zach Bryan's girlfriend. I
Yeah.
bought him out. I don't know if
He-
you guys get that reference or
I,
not.
do, I like it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I
Chicken
don't
fry, something.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, he bought me out. He didn't even buy breakfast, but he bought me out.
It wasn't an expensive buyout.
Yeah, it was it's
Worth it.
$6.
Three,
I
three,
couldn't tell you.
three feature weekends.
1956, Procter & Gamble got to work on trying to come up with a potato chip that didn't break and wasn't greasy when you reached in the bag. Okay, so they did a lot of work on this, and a guy named Frederick Bauer, he was a chemist, also happened to be really good at math, came up with the shape. Tim, you want to pull one out?
Sure.
The shape of the Pringle is called the hyperbolic paraboloid, and it is a masterpiece. A lot of people say that shape right there is why the crunch is so perfect when you eat a Pringle. It's also what allows you to do the duck mouth. Tim, you want to go ahead and
Thought you'd never
There you go.
ask. Yeah.
so this guy There you go. 2 hyperbolic
Yeah.
paraboloids.
Perfect.
This guy, Frederick Bauer, he got to work on this, and it went really well. And they were like, this is a masterpiece, and it tasted horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really bad. And they were like, all right, we can't do that. So like they just let it sit. They're like, that thing didn't work. And then in the mid 60s, they're like, oh, we need to develop some new products. Let's go back to old Bauer's thing. And they brought in this other guy, Alexander Lipa. He was from Montgomery, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cincinnati, which is where the comedy club Go Bananas is located. Really cool comedy club that I got to do a lot of shows at when I lived in Cincinnati and worked for Procter & Gamble. And he got to work on it, and he sort of came up with a new recipe that included a paste of dehydrated potatoes, rice, corn, and wheat. And it was almost like it was almost like a cookie cutter. So he used a cookie cutter to sort of stamp. It's like, don't think of like a potato chip. You're just peeling off a piece of potato and you're frying it. This is like batter almost. So he got to work on it, and he perfected it.
How much time between the first guy working on it and it was gross until they go, all right, let's bring this guy back?
56 was when Bauer was working on it.
Yeah.
It sat, I think, mid 60s. This guy started working on it for a while.
Crazy.
Yeah. It tasted that bad.
Well, but also just that that they bothered revisiting it. But
Yeah. Well, it's a cool looking thing.
Let me ask you a question. Of all the big Procter & Gamble brands that we know, how many were developed from Procter & Gamble? That seems rare, right?
It's a good question.
buying
I think, I'm pretty sure Ivory was. I think Tide was. But they, I know they bought most of the other food products. They bought Jif. They bought Folgers, Gillette. I know they bought. I think they developed Pampers, pretty sure.
No kidding.
Bounty, Charmin, I think they developed. It's a good question.
Oh, more than I would have thought.
Pantene Pro V, I'm pretty sure they developed.
Okay.
Head and Shoulders.
What a resume.
Yeah.
All over the place. Yeah.
It's an amazing company. So another guy named Gene Wolfe. It is. Yeah, I was up front about it. Up front, I said, hey, I'm a little biased.
Yeah.
Gene Wolfe.
And after you work at Procter & Gamble, everything else in life is pretty easy.
Yeah. You got walking the dumpster money.
Gene Wolfe was a science fiction writer, a celebrated science fiction writer, but also good with machines. And he's the guy that came up with the machines to sort of make these things en masse, like to manufacture them. So Gene's a big player. Those are the 3 players. You got Bauer, Lipa, and Gene Wolfe. They finally got it right. Lipa is the guy that's mentioned on the patent, not the other 2. By the way, this guy was a big-time science fiction writer. Some say that his Book of the New Sun series was like the 3rd best science fiction novel of the 90s or something like that.
I'm not buying. It feels like every science fiction writer, something becomes a movie or television show.
Yeah.
So if he was that good, they would have made something.
The greats got a religion out of it.
Yeah, right.
You know.
were really good.
That's where the bar is.
Yeah.
That's the benchmark. Did you get a religion?
It's like there's 6 movies. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
A religion and a terrible movie.
Yeah.
The what's it called? The Travolta one?
Yeah.
Which one?
Travolta and
The alien one.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, the Michael?
You might have to look it up.
Michael's the
No.
angel one. Battlestar Galactica.
That's a different religion. No. Travolta and
Michael had a little religion in it.
Yeah, but it wasn't the alien one.
L. Ron Hubbard did Michael?
Travolta Hubbard movie.
Yeah, what was it? He had that terrible
For those
makeup.
of you, Randy is Googling.
Battlefield Earth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
pretty sure it was Michael.
Oh my gosh. In this inept futuristic epic. That's crazy.
Third word of the description is inept.
Incredible. Yeah. Forrest Whitaker was in it too.
Have you ever seen those 3 words together? Inept, futuristic, epic. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm very confused.
So they test marketed in 1968 in Indiana.
Huh?
And then
Scientology, they tested?
not so we're back on Pringles. buddy.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes way more sense.
Wouldn't fly in it.
No.
Yeah, and then we get to 1971. They roll with it nationally, and it did not do all that well starting out. The original name was Pringles Newfangled Potato Chips.
Really?
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tim, what am I
That
going to
should have
bring
been
up
the
if it's a
tagline.
mouthful?
Yeah.
Your favorite movie?
The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Yes. Anytime
You ever
we
seen
talk
it?
about mouthfuls, that is the name of a movie. Tim says it's a fantastic movie.
So good. Brad
Yeah.
Pitt is in it.
It is a mouthful.
He comes back around in the Pringles story. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I know about this.
Yeah, he does.
Slow burn, that film. Great movie.
Sort of this podcast too, I think.
Slow burn?
Yeah.
That's pretty hot up
We
top.
think, I
if you
think
ask me.
once we get to episode 60, we're going to be killing.
Yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah. So they came out with Pringles newfangled potato chips. It wasn't doing all that well. The name Pringle, there are a few theories about where it came from. One to me seems like, oh, well, that probably is it. A guy named Mark Pringle filed a patent titled Method and Apparatus for Processing Potatoes in 1937. Like,
Done
that should
deal.
be what it is, but they also
Right.
say no. A couple of our scientists lived on Pringle Drive up in Finneytown, which is a suburb of northern suburb of Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's one I could find that was right down the middle. I saw like
Yeah,
5
it's all
different
over the place, right?
So I think it's just dealer's choice on that.
It's got to
Just
be
go
the
with it.
guy.
It's got to be the guy.
He filed it.
I know, but I'm saying there's a lot out there that suggest that it was also the name of the street.
Some people said they just were thumbing through the Cincinnati phone book and saw a name
Yeah.
Pringle.
This also isn't that long ago. It's annoying that we don't. It's such a mystery. This wasn't the 1700s. This
Right.
is the 60s, right?
1968 was when they first test marketed it.
Yeah.
You know what else came out in 1968?
What?
Greg Warren, baby.
Oh. Also, you were
Yeah.
test marketed as well. And
I was going to say the
was.
Vietnam War, but
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was. I came out during a. What are you pointing at, buddy?
Oh,
Please.
sure.
Thank you.
Oh, you choking?
A little bit. I'm okay.
He's still
The
worn.
rough
He's
day
still,
for
he's
you.
still worn out for that
It's
drive.
a little, I'm still
Yeah.
sweating still, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I steal your water. I had to. I was
We're all right,
joking.
man. Everything's good. You
I don't
got
want to stop
here.
the show. So.
You didn't.
I handed him Greg's water.
Yeah. That's right. It's just not your day, man. Throwing out walks, losing water.
Yeah.
Yeah, guy says my house smells. He says it doesn't look good. Takes shots at Kate Convey. I don't like it.
Unaggressive. Yeah, go ahead.
And yeah, give him Dustin's water.
You don't want that water.
So I think it came from Mark Pringle. Is
Yeah.
where Tim and I both feel
Yeah.
that way. You gotta.
Yeah, I don't know or care too much, honestly. I mean, I think this is,
You don't care.
Well,
This
no, I
is
mean,
a-
I
You
no,
don't
I mean,
care.
I mean,
We
It's a-
saved Pringles for you,
yeah,
man.
no, Pringles
Yeah.
is good, and
It's a
I'm
big- it's a
excited.
big brand,
I'm
buddy.
excited to talk about the chip and the container and stuff, but I can't pretend to have a take on this.
All right, it's fine.
I respect that.
Yeah, but I
Um,
believe you guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, your guys' notes are way better than his. His are like 3 bullet points.
Oh,
Yeah,
FYI,
Sean's
so-
notes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lean towards you guys just based
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
quality.
stick with them, man.
Just based on the quality.
I'll
of the
tell you what
research.
the number one note on that list isn't. 11 a.m. podcast.
Oh, man, I had noon. I don't know what to tell you.
I do think that there's a chance that this Pringle guy it's totally unrelated. And he was like, what the heck, man? Like this company just took off and he was a guy just trying to get a little money on
Could
the
be,
name.
but I mean,
It's not a bad theory.
but like without his like patent, they probably wouldn't have made these things.
But I think
But-
that's what Dustin is saying.
Yeah.
Maybe word of these chips was out based on the street or whatever.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
this
yeah.
guy goes, hang on a minute. I'm going to file a
Mhm.
patent. It's my name. I
Yeah.
like that theory.
There
well,
you
the
go.
patent was filed in 1937, way before.
Oh.
Patent for the process, not necessarily the hyperbolic paraboloid.
Parallel thought. Things happen.
Yeah.
yeah, one of those
Yep.
guys.
One of those guys.
Yeah. Something major happened in 1975. It is the first of 2 giant legal cases with Pringles. In 1975, a bunch of the other chip companies started whining. And Pringles weren't even doing that good in the mid-70s, but they were whining. Like, they shouldn't be able to call themselves potato chips because they're 42% potato. And there's not potatoes in there. It's like dehydrated potatoes. And when they whine to the FDA, and the FDA said, you know what? You can call yourselves potato chips, but you have to have a disclaimer on the package. And they're like, we're not going to do that because then whenever you have a disclaimer, it's like something's wrong with the product. So they
Yeah.
were like, let's just call them potato crisps, which is what they called them. Crisps.
Mm.
Yeah. Crisps.
You might
Say
get to this
crisps.
later, but when did they get so big that they just ditched it because it's not a chip, it's a Pringle.
It's a Pringle, exactly.
That's
it's
how
like,
that's
it's
how
like-
big the
it's
brand
like,
is now.
It's like Kleenex.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's another one of those?
It does say crisp on the
Uh,
can to this day.
Oh, it is on there.
Band-Aid?
Band-Aid is the other one. I guess it does say potato crisp down there.
Very small though.
It is better than what they had
Oh,
him
yeah.
say, like, because that's like the made with real fruit juice, like of the potato chip world. You don't want that. Potato crisp is better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crisp is
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Made with real fruit juice.
And-
They're just like, hey, this isn't even kind of good for you.
And then it took off in the 80s and it started going like gangbusters.
You are right though. People just call it Pringles.
It's Pringles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're Pringles.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know if there's another chip that you has the one name like that.
Fritos.
Oh, that's right. Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheetos too, maybe.
Yeah,
Cheetos,
you're right.
yeah.
You know what? Pringles isn't so great now.
They're great, buddy.
All of them? Yeah, you
Got a big chip guy
yeah.
over here.
No,
Dori-
I would. You would
Doritos?
could I have some Lay's? No, you say.
You might say Doritos though. Let me get some Doritos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Doritos,
I think-
Cheetos, Fritos.
But again, those aren't potato chips.
Was Pringle the first chip to like kind of pioneer the different shape? Like, because that's what makes Frito stand out is the different shape, and same with Doritos. They're like, hey, we're a whole different, geometry was
Yeah.
really the
I
key.
would think those are an extruded chip. You know that you're not. That's the extrusion is the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
process. You know the
An
batter
inept,
thing.
futuristic epic.
I'm saying like a Frito doesn't naturally occur in nature. They just put a lot of cornmeal together and fried it up.
Right, but the shape.
Yeah,
That doesn't naturally occur in nature.
Yeah,
either.
Right.
He's saying who is the first to mix up the
Well,
shape?
Is Pringle the pioneer and be
I'm
like, hey,
sure.
we got a different shape?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
because before this, it was just like let's cut potatoes and fry
Yeah.
them.
That's great. Pioneers.
Oh
Big.
yeah, pioneers. Are a
I'm
lot of things.
saying good things about your company. I think that making that is harder than wrestling. I think that. That's how good I think Pringles is.
I'm gonna
That's
wrestle.
how much I love the
It
company.
definitely makes a lot more money than wrestling. I'll give them that. A lot more money.
I'm gonna wrestle him.
financially.
I'm gonna wrestle him before this is over. I'm gonna wrestle him. We're gonna see how easy it is. He's a good athlete too, man. I played basketball against him. He's a really good basketball player and a pretty good bowler.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, when we went out and opened for Nate, you do all these things.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned on the podcast we did everything that I'm bad at.
Mm.
Basketball.
Well, what were we gonna roll out the
bowling.
mats?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was
It's
hoping.
weird that Nate wasn't like, it's Wednesday
Yeah.
night, guys.
Come on,
Well, I thought we were gonna go the
Hey,
other
let's
way.
go do a few rounds.
Bring
I
your
thought we were
singlet.
gonna start doing more stuff that I was bad at. Like, all right, guys, now we're gonna go dancing and we're gonna
Yeah. Well,
we're gonna
what are-
talk to women.
Other than what are the other other than wrestling? What sports would you feel like showcase your athleticism?
Well, we had a
Pickleball?
pretty good ping pong game.
Yeah, we were equal ping pong players. Yeah,
I think you
mean,
got
I won.
Yeah, you
but,
got the
you know.
edge, but yeah, but it was
But it could have gone either way.
yeah, it was pretty good. His brother's a good ping pong player. I
I'm a
don't-
good ping pong player.
Yeah.
yeah,
Your
Chris-
brother.
Chris-
My
Chris
brother?
great. Yeah, Chris is great.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
beat him regularly.
Yeah, Chris Combi. Like you should play ping pong.
Yeah.
Come
Sean's a pretty good ping pong player too.
I thought I was the best one here.
Are
Not
you
counting Dustin because I haven't seen him play.
I will
Yeah.
beat everybody at this table
What about Chris though?
this afternoon.
This isn't
I beat him
regulation
regularly.
size though.
That is true.
I don't mean literally this table. I'll beat you on this one. I don't care.
No, I don't
With
know
Pringles
what
as
kind of little tiny
rackets.
mats. we're getting.
I'll wrestle you on the table.
Yeah.
But hey, the fans want it, man.
I'll
They're ready
beat you.
for this thing
I'll
to
beat
go.
you with Greg's old walk.
Oh yeah, it's still hot.
Dong.
It's still
Dong.
hot. Yeah.
What you didn't answer the question though. What sport? Because we played a variety
Oh,
of
yeah.
sports. Ping pong.
I'm good at wrestling. I'm good at ping pong. I'm not that good at anything else.
No, I got
Yeah.
you, man.
I could run.
You can drive golf balls.
Yeah.
No, I'm terrible.
You
at
beat
that.
me in a 5K.
Yeah, I could run.
Yeah.
I could but when I'm in shape. Not now. It would take me like a month, and then I would get injured. But I could, like, if we were like, hey, in a month we're gonna do a 5K, I'd be like, I can get there, but I'll never run for another 6 months after that.
Yeah.
So I'm just at that point. And then I'm not bad in the batting cages.
Oh, there you go.
No, but if somebody started throwing curveballs or
Yeah,
varying
yeah.
up the speed, I'd fall down.
Yeah.
But yeah. But like I could hit,
We're missing the most obvious one that we're actually okay at.
what's that?
Pickleball.
Pickleball, but
Yeah.
everybody is okay at pickleball.
Yeah.
I'm a good pickleball
I
player.
would guess
Really?
that.
I
Bas-
played
should've
every
done
day in college because it started in Seattle. It's a Seattle-based sport,
Uh-huh.
so we played a lot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah, It's
grunge,
but that's what's so great.
Starbucks and pickleball. That's what they.
Yeah, you're right. That's it. Nothing else.
Wait, isn't it true that the pickleball starts on the side of the court that's
closest to Seattle?
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
It is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's Northwest.
We should play. This is a good group.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sean,
you two would have to be on the same team, otherwise
he's the worst of the group.
Wrestle you.
Oh, you would wrestle.
Sean has a temper on the pickleball court.
That happens, and I'll tell you, it's embarrassing to be playing a game called pickleball and getting worked up. You're like, you might have some issues you got to address.
He does.
Yeah.
He threw his paddle several times when we played.
Yeah.
I think you got the wrong guy because, and I won't even say a name. Who do we know that walked off one time?
Devin?
There you go. Did I ever do that?
Walking off the pickleball court.
Greg's brother walked off the court.
I was
and actually, it was the funniest moment because they had some sign. It was some acronym. And it was like, I don't know, team, together, everyone achieves more. And as he's walking up, he's like, Devin. And he just points to the sign just to get him going.
That was Matt.
Oh, was that Matt?
Yeah.
He had a
and
pop
he
too.
walked off because Matt was getting in his head. That's my other brother.
It's very funny to think about somebody walking off a pickleball court because it's a small court. So it's not even a dramatic walk. It's 2 steps and you're off.
Yeah.
It's also in like a public setting. There's an ice cream guy.
There's always somebody waiting to play. Like, so are you done, or is this just a temper tantrum?
Is he coming back? Because I put my paddle in. I don't know.
Back to Pringles. They took off in the 80s. That's when people started eating a lot of Pringles. Brad Pitt was in a Pringles commercial with his shirt off. Looking very Brad Pitt.
Yep. Brother Brad.
And so I saw this thing. It was like before he made it on the A-list, he was in a Pringles commercial. I'm like, A-list? A Pringles commercial is the A-list, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a Pringles commercial. That's a big brand in the 80s.
Yeah.
Very big. Yeah, that is the A-list. It's better than Across the Tracks with Ricky Schroeder, I'll tell you that.
I think Fincher saw him in the Pringles commercial, and that's where Fight Club. That was the beginning of it.
Really?
It went right from Pringles to Fight Club.
Thelma and Louise?
Mm-mm.
No?
I think maybe Thelma and Louise came before Fight Club. You want to check
I know,
that?
but he saw him in the Pringles commercial. Yeah, Thelma and Louise. Yeah, yes, you guys are absolutely right.
Yeah.
This isn't true, but
Okay.
yes, Thelma and Louise was the thing.
But he saw him in that Pringles commercial.
He was in True Romance.
He was great in True Romance.
So good.
He was. Have you seen that film?
It's been a minute.
It's he plays the stoner buddy. He's extremely funny in it. It's a minor role, man.
Yeah.
He's like, don't condescend me, man. Yeah,
It's great.
It was good. So they started selling really well in the 80s. There was another lawsuit in Great Britain. Let me tell you something about Pringles. They kill it internationally. Why do you think that is, Dustin?
Because they ship well.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
They ship well. You can't ship a bag of Lay's to China.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be dust when you get it. So, we started killing it.
We.
Yes, we.
Yeah. He's a part of the success.
Yeah.
I was there. I was there when we started doing well. We did so well. At one point, Pringles were on allocation, which basically means we just didn't have enough. We just couldn't make enough. It was all coming out of this one little plant in Jackson, Tennessee. And it takes 3 years to get one of these plants up and running. So now they're all over the world. But it was so funny because, you're trying to get guys to buy stuff. I'm like, hey, man, you want to do this thing? I'm doing something with Frito-Lay. And then it was a big lesson in supply and demand because, once you couldn't get Pringles, these buyers that wouldn't even pick up their phone are like, hey, man, I got when can we get more Pringles? It's like all of a sudden I'm the most popular guy there.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, what would you do if I get you 3 trucks? I'm like, I can't do it, man.
Yeah.
I can only get you this many.
What international accent was that you were just doing?
Oh, that was more Texas, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, you weren't the international sales.
No,
okay.
no,
that
man.
makes more sense.
Yeah. Did you think I was doing a
I didn't know. I didn't know where.
Accusing me of some sort of
no,
racist
I wanted
accent?
to know. I wanted to know where
I was doing.
I didn't know. I wanted to know who you were speaking to.
I was doing rushed American.
Rushed America. Okay.
Yeah, desperate American.
Great.
That's what I was doing.
So
I should have been. I can do Texas, so I should have done it more I was in Texas at the time, in Houston, selling Pringles to a company called Grocer Supply. So I should have tried to do Jack Todd's accent. Jack was my buyer, and Jack was like, "Hey, You know, I mean, if you could get me, you get me 2 truckloads of Pringles, we can make a lot of money down there in the valley. A lot.
I'm so glad you did that.
A lot of money down there in the valley. I'm like, Jack, I don't have them. I'm just saying it'd be like printing money. I mean, a lot of money. A lot of money. They're putting displays up all over. That was the first thing I learned. It's not display.
Displays.
You put up a display.
Well, I mean, Pringles is going to be you're going to be able to make some great displays with Pringles.
Yes.
Great for grocery
I
stores.
mean,
anything that can stack.
Here's
like
the thing,
that.
man.
Yeah, like the liters of Coke. You know,
And
not the
here's the
liters, the
thing.
12 packs.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting, and we've talked about it a little bit on this podcast and maybe on the Nateland podcast. So our competitors were Frito-Lay is the main one,
Mhm.
okay? The difference is this thing, we ship a truck of Pringles from Procter & Gamble's Jackson, Tennessee, from the
Mhm.
plant to, let's say, Kroger's warehouse. You're familiar with Kroger?
Of course.
Yeah, so you ship it to Kroger's warehouse, okay? And they put it in their warehouse, and then they send their little grocery trucks out maybe 3-4 times a week to the store, and they have some Pringles on there along with some, all the other stuff, some Tide or all the other stuff that a grocery store gets.
Right.
Now, a Frito-Lay, they have their own trucks of chips, and they go right to the store. They don't go through the warehouse.
Mm.
They have very strong relationships with these store managers because they're
Right.
in there all the time. The Procter & Gamble rep would go in there maybe, once a week or something
Mhm.
back in the day when there was more decisions made at
Yeah.
store level, and they talk to him about stuff. Maybe once every 2 weeks. The Frito-Lay guy's in there like 3-4 times a week, and they know him, and the Frito-Lay guy is giving him tickets to the baseball game.
Right.
And so they got the displays. They would pay. It was really
Oh.
hard. Like it was hard.
You're the independent soda company trying to go against Pepsi and Coke. They're established. They've been in there for years.
So, well, it's not so much that because we are established. It's more about how they get there. Because actually, the soda companies are the other ones who do direct store delivery, and the
Right.
beer guys and some of the cookie guys go through. Some of the cookie guys, Nabisco. I don't know what's funny about this.
He had an uncle who was
yeah.
a cookie guy.
It's what's funny about that.
I
You're
don't.
too
It's
good of
just-
a comedian
it's
to not
nasty.
know what's funny about.
I mean,
You're a professional comedian who's like, maybe the cookie guys. Just that you're still so passionate about this old world of
I'm
yours.
passionate about 2 things in my life,
Yeah.
and you're taking shots at both of
Yeah.
them, okay? I'm passionate about the sport of wrestling, Dan Gable, and the grocery business, and you're just taking shots at him like it's nothing.
So that's 3 things.
Well, and
what do you want to talk about your religion, man?
what
You
I'm
wanna just go off
what
on
I'm
your
saying
religion?
and what I'm saying is taking shots aren't that hard. Anyway,
Your 4th biggest passion is picking on Sean, and he was trying to stop you from that too.
I don't pick 'em.
I
Sean.
think that these guys like how much I'm making fun of you.
Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
This is the greatest day in my life.
Yeah,
Right now,
I think there's some
moment.
real bullying coming from this guy.
Here's the
you
deal.
know?
This I'm going to put it out there right now. This podcast will have the most views, regardless of what people think about it. It'll just be me watching it over and over and over.
Oh, yeah. Same with me, buddy. I'm just going to
Between
loop this
Sean
thing
and
for
I,
a month.
yeah.
Yeah.
When
Go back.
Actually,
Go
what
back.
will happen?
Go back to the Gable part, babe. You got to
Yeah.
see this. You got to see this. No, he's attacking wrestling as a whole right here. Yeah, I know Greg he's sitting right next to
I
Greg.
know. This is not going to help my ticket sales in Iowa, and I understand that.
Don't go see him. Yeah.
I highly recommend him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great comedian, but if you're in Iowa, he insulted Dan Gable's quote, and
Yeah, but he crushed it in the Fox. He was he was on with you.
Oh, the Nate show.
Oh, yeah, he killed.
Yeah.
And I think Aaron. And I
Aaron
think Dusty went up.
and Steven
Or
Rogers.
Dustin went up second.
I'll
Yeah.
never
And,
miss a Dustin show anywhere.
Murderer, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, there's
Very funny guy.
It's there's always tickets available, so you can
There will be
catch
in
him.
Des Moines. I can tell you that.
Davenport.
Greg takes out an ad to not see him.
Yeah.
Full page, USA Today. This
Whoever's
guy-
at the competing club that weekend,
Yeah.
Greg
He's
buys
pushing
ads.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing promoted posts for.
I
Earthquake.
genuinely am laughing because I'm charmed by how much you still love your old life, like of your salesman. Like you don't get that from a lot of comics. Like my last job was I worked at a rec center, and those were good years and all. But I don't gush over. I haven't started a podcast about.
Look around.
The rec
Yeah,
center,
I know.
yeah.
I like it.
You look around
I
the
like
set.
it. I'm giving you a compliment.
Yeah.
I'm finding your life interesting and charming.
It's important. is what it is.
Well, I wouldn't get crazy.
Not my life.
Yeah.
But
What they're doing.
You're like,
the
whoa. You okay, buddy? You got
I'm fine.
Yeah. Are you sure? I liked your place for the record. Yeah.
It's too late, man.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Yeah.
You brought Tim's mom into this. And,
No, it was the smell. It was the sour cream and
Yeah.
onion. And no, it was great. It was really nice. It was nothing but nice in
I've
person.
been working on the place for 6 months, his first guest. And,
We had him on
can't
our
wait to see
pod,
it.
and he was telling me he's got a bad guy.
I did
Bad-
not say that.
No, you did. You said he does great work, but he's very unreliable.
He's not unreliable. He's just a little slow.
I mean, I would deem that as a trait of unreliable.
No, he's not. I mean, he does great work. It's just on his own
You just
time.
can't rely on him to do it in a timely manner.
I mean, you're trying to twist my
Is
words.
Sean reliable?
Is that right? Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna take my own shot.
Here we go. He's John reliable.
You're just teeing me up to pick on
I'm
Sean,
not.
and no, he's not. He doesn't. He didn't make it here on
Oh,
time today.
okay.
No, I didn't, man. I
Yeah.
know, it was a
So
horrible moment.
So being late makes someone unreliable. Got it. But
Do we
your-
need to
but your
get to
guy
anything else
reliable.
on this?
I'm gonna watch this part too.
It's great. 1 point escape.
I'm just gonna open these Pringles and I'm having a
Yeah,
great time.
I mean, treat yourself, man.
What else? We're still in the
little.
60s. Oh no, we did the 80s with Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
That's an incredible
I
slogan.
think the first
Is
slogan
it better
was,
though than the you can't eat just one? Because that's the
both of them have led to type 2 diabetes. Yeah. But before Once You Pop, You Can't Stop, there was I've got the fever for a flavor of a Pringles. I've got the fever for a flavor of a Pringles.
Yeah.
I've got the fever. It was an all over the. That lasted, I think, till 88 maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, Pitt was in that.
Yeah, that was 89 Pitt, I believe.
Good for
Yeah.
him.
I've got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles. I believe. I think you might get into it in fun facts. Somebody like took that. Somebody made a song out of that
Oh, really?
jingle. Yeah,
Really?
it was voted one of the worst songs ever.
Oh.
But there was another.
everything was a song in the
lawsuit.
80s. The Super Bowl Shuffle. You know.
Great song. There was another lawsuit in the UK, in Britain, and this was like going the other way. There's some value-added tax for kind of like what they deem as junk food, but it came down to like whether if you're potato-based, we're going to tax you like 16.5%. And on that one, Procter & Gamble was like, "Nah, man, we're not potato chips." Yeah, we're not. We're crisps. We're
Man,
crisps. We're not potato chips. And they won. And then it went to the Supreme Court, and they had to pay the tax. They'd been paying the tax.
All these years later, the British still screwing over the Irish.
I know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Okay.
That's offensive, huh,
That-
Sean?
yeah.
Very, man.
Yeah.
Shawn Michael Patrick O'Brien.
It came down
Walking.
to Pringles' argument was they tried to convince the court that they weren't chips or crisps because their shape wasn't found in nature.
No.
You don't see a lot of these growing out there on the trees. right?
No.
Yeah,
No.
Hyperbolic paraboloid.
But they already have a chip over there. Is it misqualified? Like it's not. They don't. Is there an issue there?
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Chips are it's fries.
Fries,
Right?
yeah.
Chips are fries.
Yeah.
Crisps are potato chips, I think.
I think they were just blown away that something could have that much flavor in England.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying eating
Yes.
this.
They would
I
have
can
liked,
eat this without drinking. This
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
Tax it.
Yeah, they would have liked Frederick Bauer's chips back in the 54. That would have been good. Tim,
I want you to say that on stage, totally unsolicited, without any history. I bet you would have liked Frederick Bauer's chip in 1954.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it. Tim, any fun facts?
Oh, yeah, I got fun facts. You better believe I got fun facts. These are Pringles we're talking about. In 2008,
Thank you.
Frederick J. Bauer, who we talked about, he died. And his family honored his legacy by, what do you think?
Burying him in a Pringles
Pringles.
can.
Yeah,
Yes.
his cremated remains in a Pringles can.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, let's talk about this for a minute. Greg is substantially older than everyone here. So statistically, he's going to go first. So what we'll do is
They're getting loose now.
Yeah.
They're feeling really empowered.
We're gonna put 'em-
They're getting way
This will be Greg Warren in 10 to 15 years in a GIF.
I thought we were going to
And
bury
I think that's a
He's
nice
not going to be here in a week to stick up for you guys.
I kind of agree with him. What
I thought we were going to bury you in a funny bone. Yeah.
would you like to be buried in a GIF? A can of GIF, jar of GIF?
Well, I think here's the
Not
thing.
cremated, just a big thing of chips.
Not his ashes.
You can't see him.
It's chunky. It's
No, I
chunky.
mean, I think that if I was going to get cremated, I think because you're never going to get the peanut butter. I would like to be buried in a clean receptacle, so you're never going to get the peanut butter out of a GIF jar.
What if there wasn't peanut butter in it? You just at the factory before they put the peanut butter in, we go, we'll take that one.
You
for
don't
Greg.
want it
That's
to
right.
be, you don't want it to be see-through.
I mean, I could call Brazzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a guy.
Yeah,
Brazzi
Brazzi runs
flattered.
GIF, but I don't know. It seems like, and I don't want to do the Pringles can because that's
Bauer's thing.
Bauer's
Sure.
thing. I wonder, did they say what flavor?
It had to be original.
Had to be
Are
original.
you kidding me? Yeah.
What's the number one flavor, Dustin?
Is it original?
It's original.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
By a long shot.
Yeah. I would
Now,
think, yeah.
It was always sour cream was right behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Sour cream.
But
there
then
was
barbecue, right?
there was the barbecue. I think now they finally figured it out, and I should have brought some barbecue in. We struggled with barbecue, man. We couldn't.
Yeah.
What, man? We never could get that going.
We've heard this story before. Yeah, go ahead and tell him.
It's not a story. It's just our barbecue. You look at the numbers and you'd be like, we should have this share of the barbecue business because we have this share of the original business, and we just never got that. We never got our fair share of the barbecue business, and it was on us. It wasn't a good product.
It was on them, Dustin.
I don't know what's funny about that. I mean, it was a thing that we struggled with for a long time, and I'm ashamed to say we never figured it out when I was there.
And that would have been a lot harder on them had they not been wrestlers before.
Yeah.
Something made something like the barbecue struggle very tough for a lot
Finding
of people.
a barbecue chip is harder than wrestling. We struggled with barbecue.
Yeah,
It's
the whole
so
department.
funny.
The whole department was down.
We're struggling with barbecue. I mean, you talk about it like you're in a board meeting for the company.
I
right
wasn't in
now.
the board meeting. I wasn't
Like,
that big of a deal, but
we are
my
struggling
boss's
with board-
boss was in there, and
I bet you were the best employee.
Oh my! Can you imagine?
Did they
mean,
give
this
you a car?
yeah,
Yeah,
we all got
you
a
were
car.
fine.
We all
This
got a
kind
car.
of enthusiasm for a company, you know.
We all got a car.
I love it.
Sour cream and onion. There's
So
a
good.
silver can back then. Now I think it's like a white can. It's basically light, but they can't call it light. They had to call it Right Crisp. We called it
Okay.
light for a while, and they made us call it Right Crisp because you have to be a certain percentage of calories or something to be called light. That was always in the top 2 or 3.
Can I tell you something real quick? Because
Sure, buddy.
I was laughing at that. If you want to know how you guys have really improved on the barbecue game, because my 17-year-old son, which is really probably the time of your life you eat the most.
Target market.
He says that's the best Pringle and it's the best barbecue chip in the game. Is the Pringles barbecue?
I mean, on one
hear
hand,
This is a Southern California boy.
no, this is a kid.
17-year-old.
Yeah, his
They've
kid
done
was
it.
in the Brad Pitt commercial.
He
Like,
eats
it's-
more
yeah.
chips than anybody.
This is a thing, man. On one hand, I'm proud of him. You know,
Of Pringles.
on the other hand, I wish
You wish you'd have been there.
Why couldn't we have figured it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't we have figured it?
Maybe
'Cause-
you are what was holding them back.
No,
That
man.
could have been it.
No, man, I was.
What was with the Memphis barbecue?
I never saw that.
Yeah.
No, the dill pickle wasn't there. We're looking for
This
those
looks like
of you.
sunflower seeds. Yeah.
Those of you who are listening and not watching, we have some flavors of Pringles pulled up on the screen, Randy, if you want to show that. I see a rotisserie chicken flavor. We tried some things that we failed at as well. We tried to get in the corn chip market, which is Fritos.
Oh,
So there was
okay.
Pringles corn crisp, and you see those in the Brad Pitt commercial. You can look it up on YouTube.
Interesting.
And it was corn crisps, white popcorn crisps, and nacho cheese. Those were a miserable failure. Didn't work at all.
Listen, you got to take risks.
We
Well,
tried
you
to get in the Ruffles. We did Idaho Rippled. There was a regular Idaho Rippled. There was a cheddar and sour cream and something else. Didn't do all that well.
Cheddar and sour cream different than sour cream,
Cream and onion.
Okay.
Sour cream and
yeah.
onion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
Um,
seen the international game they play over there? With
Oh,
the
they do
chips?
crazy
Oh,
stuff.
it's
Yeah,
just
I mean,
irresponsible.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
They do
It's
have.
niche.
This is real blueberry and hazelnut.
What are we doing?
That's
What are we?
that's a big
Here.
big deal over in
Sounds like a vegan donut.
I'll tell when I
There's
hear
also prawn.
Yeah.
prawn.
Yeah.
I would try
shrimp?
I would try prawns.
I bet you
Try-
shrimp's not that bad.
yeah.
I bet
Think
like
they
in
would-
Asia. Is
but
that one
just
of the
call-
Asian countries? Because
yeah.
they do good stuff with shrimp snacks.
Correct.
Just call it Cajun and then a little shrimp flavor to that might
Yeah.
be all right. Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
is that? Why are they so much more ambitious with the weird flavors? Over
I think
there?
it's cultural.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I think it's kind of insulting you said weird.
Yeah.
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 What the blueberry
No,
and
no,
hazelnut?
no.
Yeah.
Just hit a gong while you're
Just
over
say
there,
this.
buddy.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Say I don't
Good
like people
Lord.
that are different from me.
Yeah,
Say that.
No, they have a wider
Well,
variety.
they're using those chopsticks
They have a wider
to
variety
eat their
over there.
Pringles.
Sean, tell Dustin how you use chopsticks.
Take it. You just need one,
You
guys.
stab.
You just and
Yeah.
it's basically just like a fork without the other three prongs. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
there you go.
A one prong,
One
fork.
prong. Yeah.
a single prong.
Yeah, that's why I don't waste. I keep the second as a backup. So that's why I'm a smart man.
Uh,
Just 2 at a time.
Whack them all with it.
Do you guys remember in 2019, Wichita Falls? This was huge everywhere. A woman decided to drink wine out of a Pringles can and do loops around the Walmart parking lot in an electric shopping cart. Do you remember that? Everybody was talking
God
about
bless
it.
America.
It all took place at 6:30 in the morning. She was subsequently banned from that Walmart. However, her stunt managed to inspire locals. Austin Monthly reports that a bar in Houston even introduced a $3 drink special served in a mini chip can where
Yeah.
you could get your wine in a chip can. There were Facebook events where
I'm gonna
people
guess that's 100 gram.
would gather. Yeah, that could be. Different events where people would gather and throw parties kind of celebrating this one where you would
Yeah.
just drink wine out of Pringles.
What do you guys think? I'm gonna guess that wine was not a good wine.
I'll go Boone's Farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a.
I think it went box to can. You know,
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
Franzia?
It was not in a bottle. It never spent time in a bottle.
Yeah.
What if it was
Bag to
like?
can,
What if it
technically.
was like a really,
It was a really nice.
really
Fine.
nice?
Yeah.
She's like doing the swirl
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. And it's actually a 68 Malbec. Really? Really?
The guy comes over with the
Yeah.
napkin, does the.
It got hit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It
Or
has,
smells it first.
it has hints of shrimp.
She shakes it off. No,
Yeah.
No.
no, this isn't right.
No,
Let's get a
thank
new
you.
one. I love it that you said that she's banned from that Walmart. So
Yeah,
the
the ones-
other 10,000 of them, totally fine.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Do
Right.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Just do this. Just keep, and they'll just keep banning you from one. You only have another 10,000 to go.
What a legend.
Yeah, I mean, but you get banned from a Walmart.
That is true. You have to.
It's a pretty
Yeah.
permissive environment, from what I
Yeah.
can see. you got something going on.
Yeah.
The song Greg was talking about, Fever for the Flava. It's a 2003 song by Hot Action Cop. Do you remember them?
Hot Action Cop. I do
Yeah,
not.
I just remember seeing posters and stuff. It was listed as number 6 on the 50 worst songs of the 2000s
Whoa.
from the Village
Oh, just the
Voice.
2000s.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
If you put it up against some of the bad songs from the 90s and 80s, it's
Tim is
fair's fine.
musician. It was actually a rock star. It was in a band called Ludo. They still play every now and then. They had hits on the radio. Tim is the authority on music here. What are some of the worst songs?
Oh, of all time?
Yeah.
Oh boy. See, this is just going to irritate people. My opinions on this. Notably, many people have written about it that one of the worst songs of all time is "We Built This City" by Starship.
Yeah.
There's
I like it.
quite a few articles on it. It is catchy, but just many lyrics.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Absolutely nonsense. It's terrible. Written by Bernie Taupin, the guy that wrote all the Elton John songs, and I'm a pretty firm believer that Elton John succeeded despite Bernie Taupin's
Oh, really?
lyrics.
Really?
Yes. I've kind of done a deep dive on this. Elton John, fantastic, but there are so many just awful lyrics. And he succeeded in spite of it because he's that good.
There's also some of the best lyrics you've ever heard in a song, though.
Like what?
Like all of your song. That's a pretty great love
Pretty
song.
straightforward in that it's very, very simple. It gets the job done.
Yeah, so is God Only Knows, and that's probably the best love song ever written.
Yeah, that I'm not going to argue with. Yeah, you're
That's
right.
also simple.
You're
you
right.
know?
When he keeps it simple, we'll say Bernie does a good job. When he gets
It
ambitious,
is really funny though to think that you have like a songwriter, like a guy that's his thing. He just does the lyrics, and he's like, "Hey, what do you got for me this week?" And he's like, "I got this one. It's called Crocodile Rock." You just go, "A crocodile, say it. No, you crocodile,
Like at one point, Bernie's like, everything's a hit. Let's just see if he'll do this one. And he goes,
And then at the end, no, these are the locks, and then these are the knots. Lock a knot. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna. I think
You sure about this, Bernie?
it's gonna be huge.
Wasn't there an NKO TV song that you said was just god awful?
oh, so the two biggest, I might mess this up. The two biggest New Kids on the Block songs are The Right Stuff and Hangin' Tough.
You said Hangin' Tough's horrible, right?
The Right Stuff is like a masterpiece of a pop song.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. I mean, just for like it's just such a well-written pop song. And then Hangin' Tough is one of the dumbest pieces of garbage anyone has ever heard. It's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, are you tough enough? It's a joke.
Yeah.
And The Right Stuff is a beautiful masterpiece. It's crazy. World record for most Pringles that someone has fit into their mouth. These guys know. Sean, I'm going to let you guess.
World record?
How many Pringles?
27. Next.
39.
39.
All right.
It's 39.
That wasn't terrible.
So there was a challenge. People constantly trying to break. Oh boy, you got to count them
How many is
first.
that?
How many is that? Yeah.
God, 39 is impossible.
There's this other cool thing I read about for fun facts that people were doing that I'm going to attempt to do because of the shape. There's also a cool thing where you put a piece of paper in the Pringles can, and then it allows you to kind of take them all out at once. But I'm going to try to do this thing. And Randy, I apologize.
Because this is the flaw of the Pringles design is
What?
getting that everything that's happening right there.
Yeah, but that's, I mean,
That doesn't happen with a bag of chips.
This is the flaw.
the
Greg
chips,
goes, what?
Yeah.
the chips, there's way more of that stuff going on in there.
Yeah, but you would never dump it out.
I gotcha.
You know,
There's this thing you can do where you use the shape. What is the shape called again, Greg?
Hyperbolic
The
parabola.
hyperbolic parabola, and you can create a circle with these things. I'm kind of starting to do it now. Obviously, lots of people just listening. But if you're successful and you make it go all the way around, that is called the Pringle Ringle.
I like it.
It is a ring of Pringles, and it's
That's
pretty impressive.
probably
if you've seen it.
39 or close.
I don't think that is.
Yeah, it's in the neighborhood of 39.
Okay,
Yeah.
you want to go for it, Sean?
Sean?
It's just not 39. I wouldn't go for it unless it's confirmed.
yeah.
You know, and then I go for it. I pull it off, and I'm like, sorry, 4 short.
Right.
One bite, you're dehydrated. By the way, it just sucks all the fluid.
Can you Joey Chestnut it? Can you dip it in water and then?
Ooh,
I don't know.
I like that.
I think I don't have the anatomical gifts to be able. You got to be able to get your mouth wide open to do that. You have to be like kind of like a guy with a big mouth.
Yeah.
As it were. Like you
You can dislocate your own jaw.
Yeah.
Put
Like
'em
a
in.
Snake.
Yeah.
Crank it back in there.
Yeah.
Do you guys have personal favorite flavors? Yeah, Sean.
I got some
What do you got?
salt and vinegar.
Oh yeah.
Salt and
I
vinegar
helped
is very
introduce that.
delicious. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm
I
being
was-
serious.
Yeah.
That's a great contribution. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because that came out with Pizza-licious, and we all thought
Pizza
lot of
was
people
going to
thought-
be huge.
no, people thought salt and vinegar was going to be the one.
Oh, but
And
pizza was.
Pizza-licious because of why?
Pizza's very popular.
What's the name
Yeah.
of your podcast?
Don't
What's
make
your
me
podcast?
come back there.
It's the kids love
The kids, yeah.
love Pizza-licious.
Yeah.
Kids went crazy for it.
Pizza-licious.
Pizza-licious is a real
Salt and vinegar.
This
And
was,
it's a nice
this was in the
package, too.
90s,
It's right-
right? This
Yeah.
was in the set of the pizza bites, pizza. What were those called? The
Oh,
the commercial.
Tony's
no, not Tostinos.
Yeah,
Totino's pizza rolls.
pizza rolls.
Pizza
Pizza
rolls.
rolls
Yeah.
were huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
We're just
pizza roll.
yeah. We're just gonna put everything's pizza in different shapes and flavors now.
Yeah,
Pizza
yeah. I'm
pizza
looking at
was-
that package. There's if you look at the Pringles Pizza-licious can here,
Yeah,
I don't like it. It shows like just a whole pizza coming out of a box. We had like a slice of Italian,
Yeah.
like New York pizza on there. It looked perfect.
I
Man.
remember that.
It's great.
That was really, really good. I love the dill pickle ones. I absolutely love them.
really.
Yeah, that's new. That was I didn't have anything to do with those.
I'm really into them.
We're not asking if you were involved, Greg.
Yeah.
You keep telling us. We're just. You didn't ask us. Do you want us?
You want to
bring
know
up-
the darkest time of my career is with Pringles?
What was your low? What was your rock bottom?
Had to be.
Fat-free Pringles with Olestra was going to be Olestra is going to be the biggest thing in the world. It was fake fat, basically.
Yeah.
And I was part of the test market up there in Toledo with fat-free Pringles. The company was basing everything on it, and it failed miserably.
Bombed on.
Because
bombed
because
hard.
you had to put something on the package that said it upset your stomach in so many words.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you remember what the verbiage was? What did they put on
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Sold
I
with
don't- Yeah, I
Pepto.
don't really want to get into it, but it involved the word leakage.
Oh my word, man!
It was on the
You
can.
didn't
What
want
is
to
wrong
get into
with
it,
them?
but you said the worst thing you could say.
It had the word leakage on the can.
You guys got that far. You found out that legally you had to put that word on the can and still decided, let's give this thing a shot.
Yeah, yeah. And I ate a bunch of them. Couple times, maybe when I ate a whole can, I felt bad. But I mean, if I ate a whole can of these, I probably would feel bad too.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm really sorry that didn't work out, man. And I
it
appreciate you
was the
reliving it.
biggest thing. Like, I mean, because it was going to go into like we started in Pringles, which we own, but like Doritos bought it from us.
Yeah.
I mean, we sold them the Olestra. The brand name for Olestra was Olean, but it was going to go into cakes, ice cream. Like it was like
Yeah.
you can eat whatever you want and not gain
Yeah.
weight. And it was.
What'd you do?
Yeah.
A hard pull off the shelves or just phase them out?
I think they got phased out. Yeah. It just didn't go. Like a lot of
Yeah.
stuff just doesn't go, man. I mean, you were talking about blueberry earlier. Somebody was blueberry
Yeah.
something.
Blueberry hazelnut.
Yeah, blueberry hazelnut. There's when I had Duncan Hines cake mixes, we had blueberry frosting and it was blue. We also had Crest and it looked remarkably the same.
Yeah.
And they were like, and the
Bro.
people were like, you're just putting Crest on.
Terrible mix-up.
You're
so
just
good.
repackaging Crest, man.
Can I ask you guys a question? Do you think Pringles is the best? Like your favorite chip? Is it the best chip?
You know what? I'll say no. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was younger, maybe. When I was a
Yeah.
kid, maybe.
Yeah.
But and this is hard for me to say because it was it was a big part of my life, man.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah,
you did a
but-
good job, man.
But I
Hang your head.
but I when you got to my house last night, what'd you have? You had some Pringles.
Yeah, I mean, it was that or a very old bag of sweet potato chips.
Those were
That
bought
makes sense.
that day.
Oh, really?
Dummy.
Wow.
Yeah. Now all your comments about my house
Yeah.
are null and void.
Is that what you used to
yeah.
season your walk in them?
Man, that walk made me so mad. That's 2 walks
God,
I bought in 3
yeah.
days.
I wish more than anything I could have just been driving by just in time to see you take a hot walk.
I had a walk with onions in
Yeah.
it, walking out to
Yeah.
the dumpster.
What's he gonna
Threw
do
it
with
in
that?
there.
Is he gonna
Amazing.
dump it? He threw the whole thing away.
The smoke just comes
Oh,
like
I
the
know.
steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A raccoon on fire jumped out.
Smells great though.
So
Yeah.
you, as a young man, you would say that this was the best.
I think and I still enjoy them today, but I think I probably, if I was going to eat chips, I probably would have more of like a kettle chip. I like
I
a
agree.
good kettle
Yeah.
chip,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
I love Fritos. Have these lost
Fritos are amazing.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to say that because those guys,
Yeah.
they were not,
They didn't
they
play
did
fair?
some stuff I didn't care for.
Yeah.
Yeah. They tried to take us out. There is a thing called Stacks, STAX.
Oh, stacks. Yeah.
Frito-Lay Stacks. I was the first guy at Procter & Gamble, the second guy to know about them because we had, what?
No, I'm listening.
Do you hear about stacks?
No, man. They were going, they
Get
shut the
Warren
door.
in here.
Shut
Get
the
Warren
lights
in
off.
here.
Shut down.
Stated
might be
objective
listening
to
to the
take
walls.
us down. So they ran a test market in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and there was a part-time employee out there that was working the stores, and she knew me from some project we did before. She called me. She's like, "Hey, there's these things out here." I go, "Package them up,
Yeah.
send them to me
It's
right
like
now.
Watergate.
Send them to me right now.
Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
Are you on a
I go,
secure line?
Call me
overnight
from-
them
call
to
me
me.
from
I
the
don't care
home
about the cost. Just overnight me as many as you can." And I went down to like the big bosses. I was like, "Have you guys seen these?" And then I was on a team to like, we had a team to like, how are we going to respond to this?
Yeah.
Now I don't think and they're not a terrible product. I don't think they're as good, but it is.
Tactical team.
Liked it. Strong.
Pretty good.
There you go.
I'll
Yeah.
take it, man. Yeah.
I think that Frito, when I think of Pringles, I think that this is a pretty good product with unbelievable marketing and packaging. But I don't think the chip, I think it's like a high average chip, but it's not like a standout chip to me.
Has it lost a step since we were kids?
No,
I felt like it used to be better. Is that wrong?
I don't think so. I think you just have different taste buds.
That could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you want a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
They
with Dustin,
may, if
though.
anything, they maybe taste maybe a little bland
Yeah.
as an adult because I think as an adult you want more.
I mean, it's hard to feel
flavor.
something.
Sure is.
No, I think that this is, I think I respect the company Pringles more than I like the chip.
I agree.
Pioneers,
But go back to
put it
to
in a tennis
16-year-old,
can.
12-year-old
Yeah, or
Dustin.
tennis ball can, yeah, I mean, I don't, maybe, yeah. I'm not going to lie. Pringles were not the cheapest chip either. So we didn't always have Pringles around. I know, again, you come from money, throw walks away.
Yeah.
You've always had Pringles
is
money.
rich.
But Pringles was
My
not.
dad was a teacher.
Yeah, but the bag of chips was always cheaper. You got more chip for your buck to grab.
What kind were you getting, like store brand?
Yeah, store brand potato chips.
Randy.
Yeah,
Randy gets that.
Randy still. That's all he buys.
Yeah.
Store brand.
But Pringles
Second
was in
season, though.
Pringles was in a Tostitos category where you're like, I mean, that's like, what are we having a party?
fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is family coming over?
Yeah.
We tried to get in that business too, man.
I mean, that's
The
a
tortilla.
competitive game.
Tarangos.
Tarangos. That was that animated movie with Johnny Depp, right?
Yeah, it was. He's a lizard. And you're absolutely
yeah.
right.
Tarangos was
Tarangos Unchained.
Tarangos was like, they were triangles. They were in a triangle can like this, but it was like a plastic, not a cardboard can.
Yeah.
And it was like, we had to sell them for like $8 or something to make it work. It was like, and they were pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think that I was around. I didn't run that test market, but I was around for them, and I think it was Gene was running them, and Gene would come into my office and be like, "Hey, try these." I'd be like, "They're good, man, but I don't think this is gonna hold up to a dip.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's got enough."
That's the key to the
You know?
tortilla chip. Yeah.
Gene was all in.
Yeah.
Gene, I think-
drove a Dodge Durango, if I'm not.
He did.
Into it he was. It's all in.
Gene Williams, he works for Coca-Cola now. He jumped ship a little bit after I left.
When you're that good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an Atlanta guy or a Georgia guy. He went to Georgia, and he's always wanted to be in Atlanta. So
Yeah, sure.
that's where Coca-Cola is.
I'm still ridiculed to this day about a Pringles story. This probably happened 15 years ago. I was on tour with this band, Tommy and the High Pilots. We were driving, long drive. Woke up early in the morning to get to Chicago, right? And we had, from the green room before, they had given us a bunch of Pringles, and we had them in the van. We're eating them like crazy. We were down to just 2 cans of Pringles. There was a ranch flavor and the dill pickle flavor. And I, as I said, love the dill pickle. So we're driving. Michael from the band is driving. He's driving the car. Everyone's asleep. I'm out cold. I have not said anything in 3 hours. And as he tells it, he pulls in Chicago, and there's a homeless guy looking for food. He's got the sign, anything you can do to help. And, Michael feels bad. He's a good guy. He looks around and he goes, "Hey guys, are any of those Pringles around?" And the first time I had made any kind of noise in 3 hours, I'm in the very back rack of the van, and I go, "Give him the ranch! Give him the ranch!" So to this day, when I see Michael, which is not often, it's, "Give him the ranch!"
Yeah. Yeah, when Jesus says in the Bible to give your first fruits, I think that's what he means.
Yeah, it
Is
is.
to give him the one that you like less.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, ranch might just be more caloric and good for him.
You know what? Honestly, he probably would have preferred ranch. It tends to be a more popular flavor just in general.
I was looking out for him. As
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, you were actually.
Then
yeah.
dill
You
pickle.
were
Yeah,
the-
I think you're right. And I don't really care for.
A dill pickle Spitz sunflower seed is very good. though.
Really?
Really?
Ooh.
I've not tried that.
SPITZ.
Spitz has killed David. David is dead.
It is?
Oh, wow.
David's is a trash.
Keep talking. I don't know anything about this.
Trash sunflower seed compared to Spitz.
What about Fisher? Are they in it?
I don't even know Fisher.
Fish. I sold Fisher for a while.
Okay. Spitz is a bigger seed.
It wasn't a big brand. I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie. This is a big brand.
Yeah.
Fisher was not a big brand.
Yeah.
We took a beating from planners.
Keep going on Spitz.
Spitz is a bigger seed and shell, for one, and because that's the problem with David is there's a lot of really thin ones.
Yep.
Well, maybe because they're not. I mean, do you think Spitz is like putting chemicals in to get them to grow bigger?
Yeah, I'm sure this is all natural. What you were selling. Yeah.
Again,
I don't
see
think
the
you.
shape.
I don't think you can come from the nutrient. You get what I mean. Moral high
According
ground here.
to the United Kingdom, these have enough potato chip.
Yeah,
in them
yeah.
to,
Yeah,
enough potato in them to be qualified as a potato chip.
Yeah.
Give me more Spitz.
The Spitz is a variety of flavors, but the problem with David, and I was a baseball player, so you ate so much sunflower seeds, you would do it. There's a lot of useless thin seeds, and then they were always disproportionately seasoned. So some would be flavorless, and then some had way too much flavor because they'd just be sitting there at the back. Great proportion. Every seed tastes the same.
Really?
And you actually feel like the seed is a reward. You get a nice little bite, a little something to chew on there for real. And it's those thin ones are so hard to crack sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and they got a bunch of good flavors. And my favorite of them is the dill pickle spit sunflower seeds. I got a big long road trip tomorrow. There's a good chance me and a thing of dill pickle spits
Yeah.
make our ways to Nashville. So I highly recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a huge, huge recommendation.
Mhm.
We got to do that brand.
Spits?
We might bring you back for that.
Great.
We'll fly you in for the Spits episode.
Oh, I'm in St. Louis in February.
Are you?
really?
Yeah.
You want to do Spits?
Let's do Spits.
The thing is, I wouldn't mind doing Spits, but I also would not mind doing
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
Ooh.
I got a
He's
lot
got
to say about
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's, too.
Buc-ee's would be a good
We've talked
episode.
about this.
On the podcast?
No, I mean we've talked about
Buc-ee's is on the short list.
on the
Buc-ee's
short
on
list.
the
Yeah,
short
yeah,
list.
yeah.
Well, if you can hold out till February.
You might be our guy for that.
All
Didn't
right.
Nateland do something on Buc-ee's, though?
What's Nateland?
It's,
Yeah.
Oh, that's that podcast Nate used to do.
wow. This guy takes a shot at
Tried to-
Procter & Gamble, at Dan Gable.
Yeah.
Now he's taking a shot at Nate.
Damn,
I don't know
wow.
who he thinks he is.
Wow.
You sell out a Wednesday in Springfield, and you think that you are all powerful.
All Nate fans, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm selling out because I did,
Yeah, you're lucky this thing doesn't come out before Springfield.
Yeah.
There'd be nobody at that show. This guy.
You know who's gonna laugh at that joke? Nateland fans, because that's an ongoing bit. They're like, one of my favorite comments on there is someone will go like, "You guys should have Nate Bargatze as a guest."
Guy's
Great,
got a lot.
I love Nateland.
got a lot going on.
I'm on the network.
You're on the network,
Yeah.
By the way, if you didn't know this, I think we mentioned it earlier. Dustin has a very funny podcast he does with his wife Melissa. It is called "Don't Make Me Come Back There."
Correct. Yeah. Funny
Yeah.
podcast about family.
It's
Yeah. Your
yeah.
dad. How many kids?
3.
3.
Yeah.
It's fun.
3. We it's fun because it's not a comic that I'm talking to. Like talking to comics is fun, and I like doing this. But
Sometimes.
one of my favorite things about Mel is Mel will like kill bits without like she,
Oh, yeah.
well like I'm clearly teeing something up, and she'll just be like, "We bought 3 pounds of ground beef this week," and I'm like, "What?" So a lot of moms really like our podcast because
it's great.
They feel seen. So
Bit killer.
It's great.
Yeah, a
big
lot of
killer.
moms don't care for this podcast at all.
That's not true.
yeah.
Got a handful.
I
Full of
say
moms.
we go to the comments. Tim is who we call on this podcast the keeper of the comments.
Yeah. Lots of great stuff. I got to lead with this. So these are comments from YouTube. Please keep on commenting. Florence Linderman, who you may remember from last episode. Florence Linderman, 3797. She took some shots at Sean.
Yeah.
She said she couldn't handle all his complaining.
Yeah. No, that's right. I complain a lot.
Guess what? Florence watched the last episode. This is her comment. Hi.
Mm.
Me again.
Florence is amazing. Please don't listen to my podcast. I'm so scared of you.
No.
Oh,
Me again. Sean jumping in the pool to save Gus has changed my opinion about
Look at
him.
that.
He can complain all he wants. He is a hero. Great show, guys. Thank you.
I appreciate
You
that,
won her
Florence. See,
over,
Florence,
Sean.
We're
That's
all
great.
good.
For the listeners
Sure.
and for Dustin, we told a story last time where there was he lived in an apartment complex, and when the day the pool closed,
Mhm.
all the dogs go in the pool. Sean has a giant dog, and he just jumped in the pool,
yeah.
and he couldn't swim, so he sunk to
Yeah,
the
he was
bottom.
having a hard time, so
So-
I jumped in, clothes on,
Yeah.
sunk to the sitting there trying to get him to calm down. Now everyone's walking in,
Mhm.
and people are like, "No, it's for the dogs only." It's
Yeah,
it's
they
not.
think that
you're
he's
not.
in there
They think
swimming
I'm
with-
swimming with my dog while I'm wearing a t-shirt, and I got hit like 5-6 times. 'cause we were
Now,
the first in there. So.
Also, I was at the comedy club last night. Sean's girlfriend was working there, bartending, and she sent me a picture of this event. And I posted that picture, Sean with Gus in the pool.
That's right.
It's on the Consumers Fans podcast group. Consumer
Facebook.
Podcast
Yep, the
Fans
Facebook
group.
page
Yeah, on the
for it. Yeah,
Facebook
yeah,
page.
yep.
And I posted it there, and it's wonderful. Man.
Yeah, man,
it's great.
I mean,
It's
national
nice.
hero.
It happened.
National
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah,
there.
it's
great.
So,
We talked quite a bit last episode about guys who use their yard as a parking lot a few times a year, whether they're close to the football stadium or the
Yeah.
state fair or something. Power18082 said, we bought a house right next to a state fair. And yes, the house listing did mention parking as possible income. My first day, I was in the middle of spray painting my $5 sign when someone just drove in and asked me how much. I proceeded to fill my lawn within 10 minutes. My neighbors just waited for me to finish, then continued to fill up at $15 a piece. I've since learned what to charge and try to get along better with my neighbors.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know any
Undercutting the
better.
neighbors. Yeah.
Just doing $5.
Maybe ask.
Yeah.
A little. Maybe ask.
Yeah.
Ask.
What are we charging? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the rate around
How's
here?
the government tracking that, by the way?
What are you doing?
Hmm?
You trying to get our listeners in trouble with the
No, I just, you
IRS?
talked about it on a podcast.
Come on, man.
That's a great.
All right.
Who's this?
That was.
It's not Linderman, is it?
No. Nope. I'm not going to say that name. I don't want to get him in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, Uncle Sam
I think it
knocking
was-
on the door.
Yeah,
You're
you're
right.
right. You're right. I'm sorry.
We talked about Greg's ex-girlfriend Cheryl on the last episode and how she was so full of regret. Be Humane 8642 said Cheryl's lost for sure.
Mm.
Greg is a very handsome man. Oh, those eyes.
Thank
And
you,
yeah,
but
He's very funny.
Cheryl's doing really well.
Cheryl.
Yeah, she's doing great.
I
man.
hate her. I
She's-
hate her.
No, she's a great.
She was doing that great. Would she go see the Greg Morin show? Where were you?
with her husband, with
Yeah.
Bill. I know Bill.
How
Yeah.
many shows did she go to?
7.
Not a lot.
Thank you. She
She
came
didn't-
to all
huge
of them.
fan.
I don't know
She
how
didn't come
happy
to all
she
of
is.
them.
I'm just
She didn't
saying
come to
that.
all of them.
Not a fan.
Amanda Akers
Not a
Homestead. I'll do one more. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do too, man.
Do too,
Live a
we don't
little.
care.
Oh.
Just live a little.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Amanda Akers Homestead said, in 2 weeks, when episode 100 comes out.
I love it.
That's great. Congrats on 100, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Buddy.
Appreciate you being here. Yeah. In 2 weeks, when episode 100 comes
We're
out.
100 next week, or 2 weeks. We're at
I'm
100.
glad I
Yeah,
could
This
be
is
here for the
episode
150th.
194.
Yeah.
Pretty big deal. Can we figure out a way for Sean to shoehorn all of his words into a single sentence? All your words of the day.
Boy, that'd be tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even use one properly half the time.
Yeah.
That's
Sean
the issue
tries
there.
to
That's good.
weasel
You're
in
in the
like
right business.
a word that obviously he
Yeah.
has a calendar or something. You know, like,
Yeah.
like-
Did you do it this episode?
He did not.
You see, once again,
Was
Greg
it
is
tardy?
Greg is just.
Yeah.
That's today. That's today. That was hard for me to say. So I said the word engender on the first show, like to
Oh.
produce,
Do you know the word?
and they were just
Whoa.
blown away.
Engender?
Engender, to engender results, to produce,
Oh.
and they're like, "What? What is this? What do you word of the
Oh.
day? You got a calendar, And
Oh.
I didn't know I was that fancy with that, so then it just became this dumb thing.
I
where
thought that was a political ad.
a lot of people do evidently because I was
Yeah.
getting peppered. Well, why am I have this fancy word? So then every show I just started throwing one in, and just people seem to enjoy it.
They do. They love
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
That's
People
great.
Are,
That's
I
great.
can't. I can't wait for today's. You got
Yeah.
The last one, last week's was parsimonious. You got it in with like 10 seconds left. What does that mean?
I believe it's.
forgot.
No, it's about just not having a lot of
Yeah.
money, being poor.
Oh yeah.
I think essentially just being poor.
Like if you're
Struggling
parsimonious,
financially.
you couldn't afford Pringles.
Pringles. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that would be a fair way to say.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to throw a walk away.
that would be sanctimonious.
S. Murphy 006 said, I'm voting for you have the right to charge your phone as a permanent sign off.
Right.
Instead of you've been consumed.
Greg,
I,
thoughts
say
on that?
I think we put them together. What do you think?
You have the right to consume.
I
your
like to
phone?
mix it up. Oh, like that. Yeah.
No.
I like you have the right to charge. I think you have the right to charge is just a good public service announcement.
Okay.
So I prefer that one.
Okay.
And then one more. Justin Higgins 2752 said after
Here you
hearing
go.
after hearing
Higgs.
Iggy. After hearing how much difficulty Sean O'Brien had putting together the simple Lego kit, I would really like to see an episode where you guys talk about IKEA and the whole time he tries to assemble a piece
Oh,
of their
man.
furniture.
That's
Adult
rough.
Legos, yeah.
IKEA should be adult Legos. I
Yeah.
like that. IKEA should be a brand that we do.
I don't know that we'd make it out of here alive if we had to sit in a room while Sean
We're not going to do that.
put it
Yeah.
together.
IKEA would be
Yeah.
a great brand.
Well,
Everything
I mean,
about
yeah,
it.
let's assume
The
Sean
food-
shows
yeah,
up.
yeah.
kitchen situation,
Yeah.
the food court.
That's true.
Design
Or we
like
could
an
buy.
escape
We could
room.
do IKEA, then get rid of this table, buy an IKEA table.
Yeah, people
Maybe
hate
The
put it
listeners
together.
hate our table.
They hate
Really?
it. They want
Yeah.
to set it on fire, or they want me to jump through it. Either
Yeah.
way, or jump through it while it's on fire.
And Randy takes it personally.
Yeah.
That is actually an IKEA table underneath.
Now we got real problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Listen, it's not super solid.
No.
No.
I like that though.
No,
I like a little excitement out of my table.
Yeah.
you
This is
don't
exciting.
know
A
what's
sense of
gonna happen.
mystery.
It's IKEA. It says, hey, you're paying less than Bed Bath & Beyond. That's what
Yeah.
you're saying by an IKEA.
Yeah.
Is there even Bed Bath & Beyond anymore?
Not many,
No,
but there
they
are a
went
few.
out of- Yeah.
Are they 100% done?
You know
I
who's
thought
still
that-
killing it? Crate and Barrel.
They're-
Just lying to customers.
Yeah.
all the
Wow.
time.
I thought they were left with Pier 1.
Those are my comments. You want to do some plugs?
I'd like you to plug some dates, talk about things that are coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can do that. Let's talk Dustin first.
Yeah.
The podcast is Don't Make Me Come Back There. It is on the Nateland
I thought it was
Network.
called Y'all Shut Up Now.
No.
No.
Don't make me come back there. It's on
Y'all
the Nateland
shut
Network.
up now.
Subscribe. What day?
Get some Pringles down here. We can get a couple trucks of Pringles.
Your guys comes out what day?
Thursdays.
Thursday. That's great.
Yeah.
Or your Tuesday. Nateland is Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Nateland comes out
Nateland's
on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Everybody
yeah.
knows it comes out on Wednesday. And Dustin's comes out just making sure everybody's on their toes.
Yeah.
Dustin's got shows coming up. He is at the Improv in Raleigh, November 22nd and
Whoa,
23rd.
that's a good club.
Yeah.
Technically, Cary, right?
Cary, yeah.
Cary.
The improvs like to do that. You're in Chicago. I'm in Schaumburg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a great club.
Yeah, it's great.
Beautiful.
Try to do it. Yeah.
The Comedy Catch in Chattanooga on
Another
November
great club.
24th. And then you're in Everett, Washington coming up, Oklahoma City coming up, Tulsa coming up, and Phoenix all coming up. And your website is...
DustinNickerson.com.
So check out those dates. Me, guy like me, December 7th, I'm at the pageant. It is Punk Rock Christmas, all your favorite Christmas songs rocked out by me and the guys. It's going to be great. And we got new music just came out too. So we recorded some Christmas songs, wrote some Christmas songs. You can check all that stuff out.
Is the group called Punk Rock Christmas?
So yeah, but the group is called the Misfit Machine. We changed
Okay.
it recently. We
I
also
like
do
that.
we also do
Yeah.
the Punk Rock Disney show. So yeah, the
It's a
Misfit
good thing
Machine.
and there's never ever been like a punk band named like the Misfits or anything, right? Like an iconic
So,
brand
Dustin,
or anything, or say it.
I went.
There's no parallel. Like that would definitely not be.
Yeah,
any-
I mean,
I made that argument. I did not win that argument.
yeah.
I made that
You're a
argument.
punk band that has Misfit in the name.
I know. I made
Yeah,
that
yeah,
argument.
yeah.
I'm with
Okay.
you, and it hurts me a little bit.
We're it's gonna be that or Green Knight. Those are-
See, I said that and was assured that nobody made that connection, and that it was a completely different. But
Maybe if you were a different genre.
I know.
Yeah.
I
So,
completely agree with you.
Yeah.
man,
It's not a
nobody's
monarchy.
going to see that place.
This band is not a monarchy.
Sounds great though.
Okay,
Sounds like
and
a
then
great show.
comedy coming up. Greg, me, Sean, Columbus, gonna be great. Greg is shooting his special.
Yeah.
Tickets
buddy.
available still for maybe a few for the late show.
There are, I'm doing shows on Friday night, one show Friday night, and I believe the three of us will be on those shows if somebody makes it to Columbus in time. Sorry.
Well, we're
and-
coming together, so
And then
it's
on,
either both of us or none of us.
this is a terrible idea.
driving.
This is a terrible idea.
so we'll get there about 11
This is
p.m.
a big weekend for me, and you got him driving you there.
Well, you know what?
Saturday.
You talked my wife into coming.
Yeah.
So now I got to fly back. So I got to go with Sean up there.
Okay, don't put this on me, man.
No, just it is a little
I'm
bit.
glad Emma's coming.
Me too.
She's dependable.
I'm a big fan. I married her. I'm just saying.
Anyways,
Columbus, Ohio, November 22nd. and 23rd.
22nd is one show, and then the 23rd, the Saturday night, that's two shows. First show sold out. Second show, there's a few tickets left. That will be me and Tim, and I believe Mark Shalafu will be doing an appearance on that show. And those are going to be taped. That is the comedy
That's the
special.
special.
That's going to make up the special. It is a Nateland production, and then Sunday is the all ages show, the kids show,
Yeah.
which Tim and I just did one in St. Louis
It was great.
a couple days ago. It was pretty fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. St. Louis show's so fun. And then speaking of that, I'm at the St. Charles Funny Bone in January. Tim Convey stuff.
Headlining that show, right?
Headlining that show, Convey and Bowers making their return. My buddy Kevin's coming in. We're going to do some music. We got some new songs, some fun stuff. And then, yeah, a lot of stand-up, too. Sometimes the music thing, people are like, no
No,
thanks,
it's
but-
funny. I like
it's
that
great.
part of it. And then I'm going to do a spot on that Sunday night.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's MLK Weekend, St. Charles Funny Bone, TimConveyStuff.com or GregWarrenComedy.com for his stuff.
This has been The Consumers. You all have the right to charge your phone.